the stairs are leading from dusk to dawn, where the windows are breathing in the light, where the rooms are a collection.
Hi, I'm Nick,
I'm Mary.
and we recruited our friends.
to do this video for us for a wedding.
Sorry
For them.
Sorry.
Sorry, guys.
We always called Mary Mary Monkey because she was just she would crawl all over everything, wasn't afraid of anything. I mean, I swear to God, I can't believe she didn't like crack her head open, ever. Whenever we go skiing, my mom and dad would have to like chase her, essentially, because she would like bomb down through the woods. This little 8-year-old, totally fearless. Mary always had the ability to get away with things. So she would like beat the crap out of me, and then she would curl up in a ball and start crying, and my mom would come up and she'd be like, "Emily just beat me up." And then I'd get in trouble and she'd get to like go trick-or-treating or whatever was going on that day.
Definitely like real crazy with it. We were always playing sports or like doing extreme sports specifically. We would have like ramps and stuff on our driveway, and he'd come up off the road and go straight onto the ramps. And there was this one time where he like flipped over the handlebar and scraped his whole side up, and just like so many stories like that. We ended up making like multiple like Jackass like movies that we made ourselves. We would get into arguments, get into some fist fights and some tussles.
Most of the time, though, it's just like it was games that just ended up going too far.
Mary in high school, basically the same person you'll meet today. Still a good human. She's always been there when I need her, and me for her, but she's always just been a lot of fun. Yeah, we got ourselves into a fair amount of trouble growing up, but we came through. We're still here today, folks.
Mary and I went to different high schools. I used to drive this big pickup truck. Why my father got me that, I have no idea. And I turned 16 like 2 years of school before she did, because her birthday's in the summer. And I drove her to school every morning, and I picked her up every night, and that was like always our time to bond. So we would make CDs during the day, because we both really love music. And every morning we'd drive to school and we'd put in a new CD and listen to some songs. So a little Paul McCartney, some good stuff. And that was always a really special time for me. Because even though we were different and we went to different schools and we didn't spend a ton of time together, that was like the time that I always remember us laughing and having fun and never fighting. It was just good times.
So I first met Nick when I went into my social studies class, and I saw this goofy looking dude with shoulder length hair rocking it out, and I was like, I think I need to be friends with this guy. I think I sat next to you, or at least a chair in front of you, or whatever it was.
Well, when Nick and I first started hanging out, I got a random phone call from him at like 12:30 at night, because I was the only friend of his that had a fake ID to be able to go out for his birthday. I was asleep and didn't go out. Sorry.
Sorry.
You
I
turned out
forgive
alright.
you. Yeah.
So we just kind of started talking then, and he went back out to Milwaukee. Well, first of all, one night we were hanging out and you drank so much that you walked home in like below zero weather in a t-shirt.
That was the first night that I kissed her. We walked. It was like negative 12 degrees outside, and I walked back without a jacket. And they kind of gave me an excuse to talk to her the next day. Like, hey, I think I left my jacket at your place. It's pretty lucky that my mom's house is really close to her apartment, which is now our apartment. And it's kind of where it all started.
And then you came back for like 5 minutes and it was super awkward.
She told me that she was like freaking out cleaning up the apartment, and like picking out what she wanted to wear, and then I just came over with my friend Tyson and grabbed my jacket and left. We were still kind of texting back and forth, and I remember distinctly one night I was like, should I come back and hang out with you tonight? And she was like, why don't I just come out to Milwaukee?
I went out to Milwaukee with Alyssa, and we went to the ghetto Walmart on Capitol and
That's not an exaggeration.
got apples to apples.
She had told me she was going to stay with me that night. And obviously, because it was her first time hanging out with Nick, she needed a wing girl. God knows I'm a great wing girl. And she decided that we were going to go over and have, like, play apples to apples, was it?
Yes. Yep.
Yes.
That was the game. Yes.
So we were all sitting around, hanging out, having a couple glasses of wine.
At one point in time, she's like, I'm going. I was like, I think I'm going to stay.
And I get a text from her under the table that says, I think you can, like, head out. Like, I'm probably just going to stay here. And I finally come to find out the next morning that Nick and her had stayed up till 4 a.m. talking, and
I dropped her off at Alyssa's house in the morning, and I remember walking to class later that day, and some guy that I'd never met before in the physics building in Milwaukee was like, dude, just go home and go to sleep. You look exhausted.
that's kind of when I knew for the most part that Nick was going to be around for a while, and don't know how long, but hey, lasted, and we're still here. So
About it, because I can remember Nick would always come back and visit all the time to hang out with Mary, but it was pretty awesome because the rest of us got to kind of live off of that and get a little bit of time spent with everybody, and Nick was able to come and hang out with us and hang out with Mary, and it all worked out pretty well. But I remember Nick working in Milwaukee. He would get done with work, would drive here an hour and a half to stay here for 7 or 8 hours, and then you get back in the car, drive back to Milwaukee to go to school and work. And it was, I can remember that being that was some cool stuff. That's when you kind of knew it was something solid.
Like, they definitely like spending a lot of time together ever since the start, and that's like a really good quality about their relationship, I think.
I mean, I've known they're going to be together for life for a long time now, but to actually know that they're going to be together for a long time, and I just couldn't be happier for them, honestly, from the bottom of my heart.
He definitely did not dress the same way that he dresses now, and I think that's a lot to do with Mary's been kind of picking his clothes out for him for the past few years.
He's got a little bit of style now, but definitely at the start it was all Mary.
They fucking rock. They're perfect together. I mean, they really are. I aspire to have what they have. They're really different, but they complement each other perfect.
You guys are two of my best friends. I wish you the best. I know that the two of you will live a long and happy life together. I have no doubt about it. I know you're perfect for each other. It means a lot to me that two of my best friends are getting married to each other.
Dating for 3 or 4 months when we first said I love you to each other. It was at our current apartment in the bedroom. She just made us dinner, and we were just kind of laughing about, I don't even know it anymore, but I just felt like I had been feeling it for a while, but I didn't want to rush it, and I just said it, and it was the best thing that I've ever done. In Milwaukee, we were lying in my bed at one point, and you said something along the lines of, I can tell that this is something that's going to last a long time.
Seemed really relaxed and easy, and seemed like we were best friends for like after the awkward day.
After the coat situation.
After coat situation was over, it was always like just easy, fun, relaxed. It always just felt like we were best friends.
It's been so long now that I can't really remember my life without her, and I don't want to. It's that feeling when you're doing something that you really love and it feels like time is going really fast. That's sort of how my life has been for the last 4.5 years, and the one thing I'm not nervous about today, I'm nervous about being in front of all these people, but the one thing I'm not nervous about is my relationship with Mary going forward.
Sitting in Milwaukee one night, it was probably a few months after that, but we were sitting in Milwaukee one night, and Nick came home, and he was telling me about how this one of his classmates had asked him if he thought Mary was the one, and I asked him too. I put him on the spot, and I made him answer, and I think his exact quote was, "I don't know, but it just keeps getting more fun." And that was the moment I knew that they were going to be together for a long, long time.
We just really want to thank everybody for coming out today, sharing our special day with us. We couldn't be happier, and we're just so happy that everyone that we love could be here and celebrate this day with us. So thank you.
Thank you. We really appreciate everybody taking the time.
Now it's time to leave. Out in the garden where we planted the seeds, there is a tree as old